All praise to the Most High. Black Americans are the real children of Israel from the same tribe as Jesus Christ. If them people still out here promoting Jacob's trouble as some future event, not happening. They are not it. Black Americans, we've been through Jacob's trouble. That's over. We're coasting. The judgment is for the Gentiles. If they're still pushing this Jacob's trouble thing as some future event, because they got to keep you looking toward it, keep you in fear, thinking some disaster or trouble is going to happen, because these demons thrive off of your fear frequency. Now, Black Americans, we've been through Jacob's trouble. We chilling. We coasting. All praise.
People talk about tribulation. I can't speak for anyone else, but I've been through my tribulation. I've for sure been through my tribulation, and I just don't believe that the Most High is going to make me go through it again. I just don't. And I feel like people should stop Jacob's trouble. Black Americans who are the real Jews, who is little brother Jacob, the real indigenous Americans from the same tribe as Jesus Christ or Yahweh or Yahusha. I think people should stop verbally manifesting a Jacob's trouble over their life. Don't let these people do that to you. All right. We already been through Jacob's trouble. Okay. By you reiterating it in Jacob's trouble, and things are going to get crazy, and things are going to get crazy, and things are going to get crazy. Do you know what you're doing? You're manifesting that over your life. You're bringing that into existence over your life. The judgment is for the Gentile nations. Okay. Black Americans, we have nothing to worry about. We are tethered to our Father. Okay. We're good. We're good. Do not live in their demonic fear frequencies as if like it's going to get worse. We already been through our trouble. I've for sure been through my tribulation. I know my Father isn't about to make me go through another tribulation. Okay? So stop manifesting tribulation over your life. Stop manifesting Jacob's trouble over your life. We have already been through it. All right? All praises to the Most High.
I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word in the same spirit, that they endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwatiyum that are believers of the faith and its truth. Lord, that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. We're back with another one. Lord willing, this is edifying. You got two brothers that's saying stop manifesting Jacob's trouble. They already went through it. Now, we can go and dissect everything they said, but I just want to go straight to the point of some scriptures. But the one thing I want to say is that these brothers is not showing verses that we already went through this Jacob trouble that's in the scriptures, right? Especially speaking of the end times. Now, it's times in our history that we did go through a certain tribulation, but it's nothing compared to what's going to happen in the end. Ecclesiastes tells us that better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So this ending is going to go out with a boom. But I'm going to show verses that Jacob trouble is going to happen, right? And sidebar, the Israelites are not just niggas or black people, right? It's not just African American, right? You have 12 tribes, right? So-called black, which we would say is African American, Haitians, and Jamaicans, and then you have the Latinos / Hispanics and natives, right? It's not just some looking niggas, right? The 12 tribes is a speckled bird. We're a colorful nation, right? So it's not just Judah, right? So Lord willing, we can get edified and we actually can accept Jacob's trouble. The whole point for you right now is to build your faith. People think that this is a scare tactic. Guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is scary. To fear the Lord is to be terrified, right? And to have reverence, respect for him, right? So literally, we should fear the Lord because this is going to be put upon us because this is the Lord's story before Yahweh Shai come, right? So now, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 20 to 22. It says, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, Very plain, because in the winter it would be like hard for us to manage being cold, right? What if you can't find a place to lay your head and you just sleeping outside? You're gonna be cold, right? Neither on the Sabbath day, because we know that we shouldn't even be cooking. Literally, that's a time of rest, you know. And then you got to think of the Maccabees when, you know, they was trying to keep the Shabbat, but they was getting afflicted, you know, by the Greeks, right? So verse 21, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, which is trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Now, again, it was times where Jake was going through tribulations in the Greek captivity, getting exiled from their land, right? The Romans, especially when they was fleeing, when they sent an army and destroyed the temple in 69 and 70 AD. But this time that we're in now is going to be worse than any time that was on the earth. Nowhere near compared. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. When you go and look at the etymology or the interlinear of the word elect, it says the best of its kind or the best of its class. So not all Jake is going to get saved. How this brother saying, nah, Jake, man, we good. No, we're not good, right? The elect is. But in this time of Jacob trouble, all Israel is going to be going through it. But the elect are being tried through that moment. So if I get to do a part 2, Lord willing, we'll get into verses with those two, right? But let's go to Mark, which is almost saying the same thing. It's just word a little different, right? This is Mark, the 13th chapter, in verse 17 and 20. It says, but woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. So a woman fleeing, and she has a baby within her, 8 months, 7 months, that's going to be hard. She ain't going to be able to run. You see it in movies. They ain't going to be able to make it, right? Them that give suck in those days, women that's breastfeeding, them babies crying at any moment because they want that titty. Now, some of us already have kids that's grown and being developed. That's not for you, but the ones that's bearing a child and giving suck to a child. Very plain. And pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. What comes with even speaking about Jacob's trouble? Build up your faith. You should be praying that your flight is not in the winter or on the Sabbath. You should be praying to the Lord that he covers you and cover you in that day, right? Because right now we're being tested with faith on this side. But when we can't go out and teach, you can't watch these videos, how are you going to sharpen up your faith? Your faith should already be sharpened. So everything that you have done while you were able to move in motion, you're supposed to apply that in the time of the MOTB, the time of Jacob's trouble, right? This is a test, right? Verse 19, for in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which God created unto this time, neither shall be, right? It's going to be great affliction in that day. Right? That's not even compared to the beginning of time, right? Verse 20, it says, except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom ye have chosen, he have shortened the days, right? Because only the days are shortened for the elect. So all Jake is not making it in a comfortable or being taken care of in the time of Jacob's trouble. But again, some of the elect might have to get martyred, right? Be in a certain situation because of their faith, just because they don't want to kneel to the system, right? And they've been true during this time, and then in the time of the MOTB in Jacob's trouble. Those are the same ones now, right? The same ones that's diligent, that's being sure, right? Ducking and weaving the appearances of evil. They're going to be doing even more ducking and weaving in the time of these afflictions. Right? Lord willing, we are of that number. Lord willing. Let's get another one. The minor prophet. Let's go to Amos chapter 5 and verse 18 to 20. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shai, which is not just talking about an appointed day. It's talking about the coming, right? Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, right? Because some people during the time, like, like when people get shot, they say, oh God, please help me. There's a lot of people that's not in this thing, that's truly in this thing, that's looking for the Lord. Amos 8 is a beautiful example where people at this time is going to try to look for the word and won't find it. They never took the time to do it now, right? But woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh Shem Shai, to what end it is for you. The day of Yahweh Shem Shai is darkness and not light. I'm going to give a sense to the part of darkness when we get to verse 20. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh Shem Shai be darkened and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? Right? The light is really the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The darkness is the affliction, basically perilous times, right? It's going to be very terrible or troubled times. That's the darkness, right? Let's go. Let's get a precept to line that up with. Let's go to 2 Timothy 3:1. It says, I know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Perilous means terrible, right? Terrible times shall come. Now, we're even in a certain time where we're leading to it, because we see these examples. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, right? And you got examples of disobedient to parents, because through the Spirit, we have spiritual fathers in this truth that the Lord set up in this labor, right? And people that's lovers of themselves is not only people in the world, it's people of the faith. When we look back, even at the time of the Pharisees, they were lovers of themselves. They were lovers of their position, and they didn't want Rome to take their position because of Yahweh Shai, because people was leaving the faith, right? Verse 3, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despiser of those that are good, traitor, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, right? And it's people of the faith, and it's people not of the faith that are lovers of pleasures than lovers of God, right? And I'm gonna get a verse on that. Let's just read verse 5. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, for such turn away. And it's people that have an image of godliness, right? But they deny the power, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I want to just show even more, because brothers are saying we already went through our Jacob trouble. In the time of this, you have to make it make sense. Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2, the Lord is dealing with the house of Israel, right? He's the one that's afflicting us for all our iniquities. Out of all the families on the earth, he know us. That's why we're in the situations that we are in, right? So when we go to verse 17 of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. What is the house? The tabernacles of Yahweh Shem Shai, which are in the truth. To truly be in the house or in the church of the Lord, you had to be in the truth. So judgment is going to happen to ones that are a reflection of the truth, but are not true, right? And it says, and if it first begin at us, which is the ones of this truth, right? Now, the ones that are sincere, this don't pertain to you, right? But for the ones that are being imposters, when you go back to 2 Timothy 3 and 13, when you look at the word imposters or seducers, you go into the interlinear in the blue letter, and seducer will go into an imposter. So you have imposters that are portraying themselves as prophets, teachers, right? And they're really false, right? So if it first begin at us, it shall, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of God? Those are the ones that are not even of the faith or of this truth, right? You can't look at Christianity, Jake, that's a Muslim or atheist or into Buddha and something else. Ones that don't obey Yahweh Shem Shai, it's still judgment going to happen at the house of Israel. So that's why leading up to the MOTB, Jacob's trouble, however it happened, going to World War III, the 2/3 are going to get afflicted way different than the elect. To the elect, it is a test, right? It's a test, right? And it's going to test your faith, right? So let's get these and then we'll close. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. Michael, the archangel, did not happen yet. So this automatically proves what those brothers are saying is totally incorrect, right? It says, and there shall be a time of trouble for such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book of life. Because since this is predestined, only the elect is written in the book of life, right? Because truly, what is real life, right? Having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, having that Rakak Wadash within you that's guiding you and guiding you in all truth, right? And this did not happen yet, but we're walking into it, right? Literally, we can look at right now, we're walking in a time of Jacob trouble, but we're not in the wave of it, because I'm still using YouTube. We're still able to teach, right? Brothers are still using money right now, right? All praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for that. And it's crazy, the same person, one brother that's in the video, I think he in his car, or maybe it's the other brother that was in the house that said Jacob trouble is not going to happen. Don't listen to these dudes. The man got another video where the man is saying that he said the MOTB was put in the Bible. But the Bible is accurate, but Esau put that in the Bible. It's too noticeable. But guess what? That we know that Vaccies is put out into the world, and that's noticeable. When the COVID came, when the C-19 came, a lot of people, most people took the Vaccies, starting with celebrities or government officials on down. People took that, and it was noticeable because they got Vaccies for flus, Vaccies for this, Vaccies for that, Vaccies for that, Vaccies for this, right? And people took it. Now, they're not just going to automatically just say, hey, MOTB, right? But at the end of the day, the example I'm trying to give you, we going in the scriptures. Prove all things with the scriptures. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. We shouldn't, any Jake that's watching his videos and thumbing it up, liking it on TikTok, you just hearing somebody talk shabba dabba ding dong. But to truly say that that's true, you prove all things and you bring it forth with the scriptures, if you believe in them. So we going to end with this one, Jeremiah 30:7. It says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The ones that's going to be saved out of it, scarcely saved, is going to be the elect. All right? In the time of Moses, that wasn't the easy task. They had to walk while the Egyptians was over here riding their horses. Then the water split. That was a miraculous save, right? Oh, I said that was my last one. Forgive me for that. Let this be the last one. Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 1 and 2. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. That strange salvation is talking about the salvation of Jacob, the 12 tribes, right? Getting beamed up to the Lord, and the heavenly angels that we see in Matthew, because he's going to send them 4 corners of the earth to get his elect, and that's going to be a very terrible time, man. Men, women, and children are going to be at joy just to be saved, even at the nick of time, man. Right? So Lord willing, this is edifying, and you got to see verses that actually prove of this great tribulation of Jacob's trouble. Again, I can't force you to believe in this. I can only show you what is actually the truth. So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Yahweh is the Most High God. Yahweh Shai is who the world inwardly calls Jesus the Christ. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Lord willing, those brothers can continue to endure and be sincere. Mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit. teaching this word and believing this word, Lord willing, that they can continue to endure it to the end. Shalom to the Akwat Yum. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. With that, shalom, shalom.